Hello and welcome to the Sensual Being podcast with myself, your host, Jolene Whiting. I have been a pole dance teacher for nearly 20 years. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my favourite pastimes are connecting to my own sensuality, connecting with the world, and connecting with animals as well. In this podcast, you'll find new and inventive ways of how you see yourself, connecting yourself with others, and also how you see and view the world around you. In this episode, we dive into the 7 main chakras in your energy body. So it's a fun one today. We dive into it, and I just give you a brief overview on the different chakras in your body. Enjoy. Hello, sensual being, and welcome back to the podcast, or welcome here if you are new. Welcome. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and if you're listening in more real time, I hope you've been enjoying the summer. We have always got to make the most of the sunshine. It is so nourishing for our soul. It energizes us, and we have just got to make the most of it. So whenever you are listening to this throughout the year, please, when the sun is shining, try and get out in it. Even if you literally just go out in it for 5 seconds, sometimes that's all you need to give you a boost. The sun currently is coming in through the window, and it's on me, and I can just really feel when it's on my skin. It just feels so warm and so loving. And sometimes, a lot of the time, the sun gets demonized, and when you think it is really the giver of life, actually, is it that bad? You need to think about that one for yourself. That is one for you to think about. Anyway, today's episode, I would consider this episode to be quite a fun one. It's one of my favourite subjects that I enjoy indulging in myself. And it's going to be all about the chakra system. So the reason why this is important, you might be asking, you might be thinking, well, I've never heard of chakras. Why should I be bothered about them? Oh, maybe I don't have them. No, we all have them. If you choose to tune into them, and you may feel, if you've never really thought about them, you might find today that maybe you have thought about them on some level and not really realized. And that's good. That's fine. And it's okay if you're brand new to the chakra system, or maybe you work in this system quite a lot, particularly if you're a yoga teacher. A lot of yoga is, you can have different yoga sessions which focus on different chakras and things like that. You can even do this with dance. You can just do this with things in your life as well, and how you show up. So this is such a wonderful thing to really dive into, because even if you choose not to accept it, it is there. And chakra system, it's where your physical body meets your energy body, or your energy body meets your physical body. So the energy body, very much like your spirit body. So the subtle energies in your body is what makes us who we are. It gives us our essence. And we have our physical body, which is our meat suit. It's our human form. It's the form. So your chakras are based within this system. Now there's a lot of theories on how the system is completely made up, and the way I'm giving it to you today is very much Hindu and modern day teachings with the chakra system. So it does go back. I mean, the chakra system does go way back. They say, because the first mentions of the chakra system were in it's old Sanskrit, which is a sort of original Indian language, and there's not a lot of people that actually understand Sanskrit anymore, because people don't speak it anymore. It's like an ancient language. And if you've ever done yoga, this is Shavasana, that's your relaxation. Surya Namaskar, that's your sun salutations. Uttanasana, what was that one? That's where you lay on your back and tuck your knees in, pretty sure. Now I'm thinking, what is it? So in Sanskrit, the word chakra actually means wheel. So it's the wheel of the energy going around your body. And that's what the chakra system is within Hindu. And it was coined very much like written in the Vedic texts. So I'm trying to test my knowledge now of all the stuff that I learned within yoga, which dated back, they say, between maybe 1500 to 500 BCE. So that's going back a long time, but that was when it was written down. Now these teachings, along with yoga teachings, go back way more than that, because it was passed through generation to generation vocally, not through text. So those years I gave you there, and I know they're very broad, but you know, when we're going back that far, it is going to be broad. We can't easily get exact. And who knows, even if that's exact anyway, even if that's quite broad. So yeah, it was very much passed down vocally through generation to generation. And within our modern culture, it's quite new what I'm going to be talking about when I put the colours with it. So the colours within the 7 main chakra system is very much in like a rainbow format. And this was only really coined around in the 70s. So this way of thinking about it is quite new in the terms of how long it's been around. But if you are quite a visual person, then actually having the colours relate to the different energy points in your body can actually be quite helpful to really bring your focus into them. So just because that's a bit more of a modern take on it doesn't mean that it's not relevant. And also it doesn't mean that you have to do it. You don't have to do it. You can, where I said earlier that you might not know anything about chakras, but actually you have on some level tuned into them, might not have anything to do with the colours I'm going to give you. That's what I mean. So when we go through these, really go through it with an open mind in that sense, to understand that this energy line runs through our body. I mean, everybody knows they have spirit in them in some way, shape or form. If you've ever experienced death, somebody dying, a pet dying, there's a moment where 1 minute they are alive and the next minute they are not. That transition is the spirit leaving the body. The body didn't go anywhere, did it? The body's still there. So what we are talking about is this higher consciousness, our spirit, our energy, leaving the body. That is where the chakra system is within your body. It's within your spirit system, because your body is just a form, and your body is magnificent, because otherwise we would not be here now having this conversation with the ears that you're using to listen. So our body is incredibly important, but this is very much about nourishing your energy systems and understanding it a little bit more. And this is going to be coming at it from my way of my things. And so there are so many different teachings out there which are phenomenal to look into. You can look into modern ways of how to tune into your chakras, how to balance them. You can literally look into the historical ways of how chakras were like formed in the Vedic texts through Sanskrit, and you can literally go down the rabbit hole so much with this, and it's so fascinating as well. Also, whilst I'm going to be focusing on 7, there's a possible over 100 different chakra energy points in your body. So what we focus on here is really tip of the iceberg. There could be so many more. And in some cultures, they don't even put colours, or sometimes they put different colours to them. But it's however it works for you to actually tune in to them. And this has gone all over the world with the chakra system. It really has, because it's so potent and relevant to who we are as human beings, spiritual beings. So we are going to start off with the root chakra. So the root chakra is the midpoint of your body, which is the most grounding and earthy point in the midline of your body. Now, generally, when you see a picture of chakras, they'll start at the bottom of the torso the root. So where you sit down on the earth, that's where your butt meets the ground. That is your root chakra, is that area. But when you see pictures of them, you normally see them just going up from that point. Yeah. What I wanted to let you know that they also go down from that point. They go down your legs, because we are not just torso. We are whole beings. They go from the root chakra, the middle of your body, they go down the legs, and they also come up the torso, up through the head, and out of the body as well. Because we are surrounded. If you ever heard people talk about your aura, we are surrounded. We have this magnetic field around ourselves as well. And some people can see auras. I can't see them. I can feel them. That when you're talking to someone, you can feel their energy. I can feel that, but I can't see them. And some people see people's auras and they say like what colours they are and things like that. It's amazing. But that's where I mean that whilst we've got the chakras within our bodies, they actually they radiate out energy and light and frequency. So we're starting with the root chakra. Now the root chakra in the modern Western world, we deem that as being red. So you can focus on red and grounding. So if you're doing a meditation, you might want to like focus on the color red to really kind of tune in to your root chakra. And you want to be feeling into like the groundedness, the earthiness of being here. That will make more sense as we travel through the different chakras coming up in a few minutes. So the root one is very grounding, earthy. It's very here in the physical, very in the physical. So things like your feet on the earth, which I just love doing, is very grounding and good for connecting in to your root. And also remembering that the power of visualization as well. So if you are in a place where you can't physically ground in the same way. For an example, if you are in a hospital bed and you want to tune into your chakras, yes, you can. You can visualize the grounding. Never underestimate how powerful visualization is. Okay, so just wherever you are, so long as it's safe, you can think about doing this or bringing this in to your meditations or just into your daily thoughts and practices and your way of being. So we can find that if we can get unbalanced in the chakras, and it's very hard to live a life of full balance, it's almost impossible. I deem it is impossible, but maybe there's somebody out there who's managed to do this. I'm not one of those. So to have different ways of tuning in and to realize when you are out of balance, where to tune in to your focus to get back in balance. Yeah. So when you might be out of balance with your root, it's things like you feel very ungrounded. You might feel quite anxious. Yeah. You just feel like you don't belong in this world. That feels a little bit extreme, but you can feel that just like when you feel like you're not fitting in. Sometimes we can be quite ungrounded, particularly in our modern world where we wear rubber on the soles of our feet, which is disconnecting us from the earth. Yeah. We need to find ways to tune back into being here. You can even do things like if you hold a hot drink or a cold drink and you put your hands around the mug and you feel the warmth or you feel the cold. That's very grounding. You're very tuning into your root chakra there because you're grounding yourself into the physical. And then as we move through them, there's so much more you can talk about with each one. I'm just going to give you a bit of an oversight on each one. As we go up through the body, just below your belly button. So for women, it's the womb area, but it's that area. And this is the sacral chakra. This is the sacral one. So the sacral chakra is generally orange. So you can imagine an orange glow, the orange of a fire. And that's kind of that could be your vibe as well. It's a fire inside you. It's creativity, it's lust, it's desire, it's sexual activity as well. But it's all your creative energy, your ideas, the creative flow. It's where a lot of artists and dancers will sit in their sacral so much, because their passion in life is creativity. So that's where the energy is. So it's very orange, it's flame, it's passion, it's lust, it's creative, it's ideas. That is your sacral chakra. And you can find that if you feel quite unbalanced in that area, you might be feeling like you're just not creative, you don't have any ideas, or maybe your libido is down, things like that. That is to be able to tune into your sacral chakra and to ignite that area of your body. That's where the balance will come in if you're feeling any of those types of things. Then as we move up through the body, we get to, I think it'd be it's just below your chest, so that where the rib cage meets and goes up, that is your solar plexus. That's your solar plexus, and that is deemed as yellow. So again, very bright, very powerful, very bright, this bright yellow glowing light. Now, solar plexus, I love this one. Do you know what? I could say I love this about every single one, but I do love this one because it's the wildness. It's your intuition. Yeah, it's the wildness in life. It's going against the grain. It's not conforming. And I'm not saying that you're just acting out for no reason. No, it's if somebody is trying to get you to do something, your power of no will come from there. It's your gut instinct, and it's allowing your intuition to be a part of your life. Now, sometimes this is hard. It's like at school, when you're young at school and they're saying, sit down, sit down and learn and that. But actually you want to get up and learn. You want to feel life. And your intuition is telling you to move about, but you're being told to sit down. Now, if you can think back to any time when you felt that type of thing, when you're that sort of age, that's how come our intuition is secondary, and that we don't trust our intuition because we should be going towards what everybody else is telling us to do. But actually, that's not who we are. That's not who we want to be. But trying to go against that can be very hard. Now, this is where we learn to not trust our intuition and our gut instinct and just do it anyway, say yes, and put ourselves into situations that we don't want to be in. If you feel like that is you want to tune in to igniting your solar plexus chakra. The yellow will help guide you there as well if you're very visual. Even as going so far as when I'm saying all these colours, you can wear the clothes. You can wear clothes. You can have ornaments, flowers around you of these colours to remind you to tune in. And when you do it consciously, and then you have these things around you, subconsciously it will still go in. Yeah, so that's the power of the colour linking in, which is why I think using the colours is so beautiful as well. And then we move up into your heart centre. Now, your heart centre in modern day chakra philosophy has a couple of colours, so it can be green or pink. I find I'm very drawn to both of these colours. A lot of things on my altar at the moment are both green and pink, and I only noticed it this morning and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed. So that's possibly where a lot of my attention is going at the moment, is in my heart chakra. And you might look around you now and think, oh, I've got this colour, oh, I've got this and this colour. You might be thinking, oh, I'm very this or I'm very that. You don't need to identify with the chakras. You may have favourite ones, but try not to identify with them, because you want to have an alignment going all the way through the energy lines of your body. So, heart centre. No points for guessing this one. Come on. It's your love. It's love. It's compassion. It's the appreciation for being here. So a bit like my intention leads through your life with your heart. Yeah, it's coming from the heart chakra. And you can find that this is not all about being in love. This is about the love for yourself, the love for life, the love. People sometimes they get so triggered by the word love. But it's our guide. If we all tuned into love as our default, a bit like babies. Babies are just full of so much joy, aren't they? If we tune in and fill ourselves up with love, we will radiate out such a different energy in the world, as in globally. We will radiate so much different energy in the world, and it will just be so beautiful. And you can find that if you're feeling ungrateful in life, unappreciative, maybe I'm saying to you, life is a gift and we should love it, and you're like, yeah, go away. Tune in to your heart space. Put your hands over your heart. And one of the quickest way to get into appreciation and gratitude for life is if you put your hands over your heart and you can feel your heart beating. That heart is the same one you had when you were in the womb. And how many years ago was that for you? And that is phenomenal. I'm sorry, if that is not magic, I honestly don't know what is. That same heart has been beating for you, because your life is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you. It is a gift for you. And that is the quickest way that I tune in. I can even feel waves of appreciation running through my body right now, because I'm like, oh my God, this is so phenomenal, this thought. And I'm sharing this thought of mine, of the heart from the womb, with you right now. And that is just beautiful as well. And that's how quickly you can tune in to your heart center. You don't even have to close your eyes. You don't even have to put your hands on your heart. You can just think about it in that moment. The power of our thoughts carry energy. And the more we can remember this, the more we can use our powers for good rather than letting these negative thoughts get through into our minds. Okay? So we'll move up through into the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is blue like the ocean, like the sky. It's blue, beautiful blue. And your throat chakra, I like to twin this in with your chin chakra. So lifting your chin up, holding your chin up. Yeah. Speaking the truth about who you are. I hate the notion of speak your truth, but actually it is so true. But what that means is not being afraid to say who you are, what you're thinking, to actually use your voice, your actual sound of voice. I've done a lot of work on my throat chakra over the last couple of years, and it has led me to this podcast. And that's how powerful it can be. So things that you can do to help with your voice is to sing, is to hum, is to actually just get some when you feel courage to use your voice, use it. Even if it means having more of an interaction of somebody that you're meeting, like at the checkout of a supermarket, have more of an interaction. So rather than being somebody who just says hello and doesn't say anything else, say hello. I hope you're having a good day. Because I don't always like saying, how are you? I still get caught in that trap. How are you? How are you? Such a loaded question. I mean, how long have you got for me to answer that? But I think just wishing people well is a great way to use your voice, particularly to people that you don't know, that you're having interactions with. I hope you're having a good day. Just when you're out for a walk next and you're walking somewhere, walking to work, from work, or to a shop, or around the park, if you come across somebody, don't only just say hello. If you're a hello person, say hello. If you're not, try that first. If you're somebody who says hello to someone anyway, after you said hello, say, I hope you're having a good day. I wish you well. because you're not necessarily asking them for an answer, because they might be stuck in their throat chakra as well and not be able to voice how they want to you as well. So it's remembering that everybody else is having an experience of some sort, whether it's good, bad, or neutral. Everyone else is feeling the pressures of being a human being at times. So remembering that if you say something like that, you're not necessarily expecting an answer back. So it's just that awareness of the other person, but to wish them well is a beautiful thing. And you'll get more courage and confidence from doing that. That's a really good one. And obviously 10 points for guessing that I was going to say chanting. Yes, chanting, singing, but definitely chanting. That will really activate your throat chakras so much. And to actually physically lift your chin up. Chin up. Come on, chin up in the world. You hear that as well, like as a kid, chin up, you'll be all right, chin up. You know, that act is very powerful, rather than we're so conditioned to have our head down, looking into our phones. You see this so much, and the neck is getting longer at the back for some people. Yeah, you've seen that too. I know you have. So chin up. Even if you're looking on your damn phone, chin up. Hold the phone up. And if your arm gets tired, put the phone down and put it away. Don't let your neck get tired. If your arm gets tired, put it down, put it away, move on with your life. Oh, of course you knew I was going to say stuff like that, didn't you? So anyway, we're going to move up into the middle of your eyes. This is your third eye chakra, purple like amethyst. Magic. This area is the area of like the all-seeing eye. It means that you're accepting that there is more than what you see with your physical eyes. It's a bit like I was talking earlier about auras and energies. It's that feeling that there is more beyond what you can physically see. You know, the people who say, well, if I can't see it, I don't believe it. I won't believe it until I see it. You know, that type of thing. Actually, there's more. I'm not saying you should just believe everything, but it's the understanding that there is more to life than meets the eye. Literally. When this gets unbalanced, you might find that, again, anxiousness is part of this. You might feel like you can't sleep very well, things like that. So tuning into your third eye, meditation is great for this because it centers you inward. Yeah, it brings you quite into yourself, which is quite a hard thing for a lot of people to do. And then the last one, although is it the last one? Who knows? But the last one I'm giving you today is actually just above your head. So just top of your head, just above the head. And that is your crown chakra. Yeah, so this is glowing, bright light, bright white light, bright light emanating from the top of your head and also coming down from the heavens into your head as well. So we have that connection to the cosmic realm by allowing that light to come in and come out as well. We are radiant beings. We are radiating out this light, this energy from us. And you can find that if you are sometimes you might feel like if you're unbalanced in this particular area, you might feel like, well, there's no God, there's no source, there's nothing else, it's just me. You might be very atheist in your thinking. I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think, but I'm just saying if you are unbalanced in that area, you might, a bit like the third eye, you might be thinking, well, what I see is what I get. And that's it. And it's you're cutting off from spirit. Now, if you've listened this far in this podcast or you've listened to more episodes, you're probably already a little bit open to this type of thinking, to know that there is more than what meets the eye, to know that we are connected, that the universe does actually have our back. We are being guided by Mother Gaia, Sophia Christ consciousness. We are being guided in our lives. And whether you choose to believe that or not is your choice. And you also have to understand that not everybody will believe that. And you have to know that that's okay. That does not mean you do not have to be friends with them. God, no. God, no. We can all still connect. But when you start to tap into the crown chakra and realize that there is more in your life, that we are being surrounded by love, is where magic really starts to happen in our lives. It really is. You might be someone who just default thinks this way, or you really might be thinking, you might have trouble with some of the words I just said, or there might be some trigger words in there that I just said when I was talking about the crown chakra and connecting to source. You might think, oh, she lost me on that word, don't like that word. A lot of people are triggered by the word God, and I used to be too. Oh, that would be silly, but it's a real thing. So whatever words resonate for you at this time, you claim them. And it's okay if other words don't. Just allow them to sit there in your consciousness. Okay, you do not have to take on every single thing I say to you or that anybody else says to you. This is very much, whilst I'm talking to you through the podcast, it is an open discussion. It's not the be all and end all. You must remember that when you listen to anything like this from anybody, or read anything, watch anything. It's so, so important. It's that keeping the sovereignty over your thoughts and how you're being guided in your life. And before we finish, I just want to say as well, another little rabbit hole for you to dive into, particularly if you like astrology and things like that. So the different signs of the zodiac come under earth, air, fire and water, so the different elements. And some of what I've talked to you about today, some of the chakras actually reference different elements. For example, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water sign, and I've got a Taurus moon, so that's earth. I'm Sagittarius rising, which is fire. So you'll find, if you like, I'm quite broad with how my astrology birth chart is written out for me in the stars. So I have a lot from a lot of different places, so I can feel, not all the time, I can get quite balanced. But you might find, you might be thinking, I can never be grounded, I'm just never grounded, and I do try. There could be an element of, you might look in your birth chart and you might find that you have got all air signs, and you might be like, whoa, that's why I can't get grounded. I'm not saying you can't get grounded, but what I'm saying is you might find that in your birth chart there are a lot of things in one place, which makes it harder for some of the chakras to balance and align for you. That does not make it impossible. It just means it's something to be a bit more aware of. And you're like, okay, well, I don't have any groundedness in my chart. I have got to earth myself every day. And you can look into it that way as well. And I think that's a beautiful way to look into it, because if you've not looked into your birth chart yet, it is amazing. Oh, so amazing. So amazing. But yeah, so I will love and leave you there. I hope you've taken lots of goodies from it. Do you know what? I could easily do a whole episode on each and every chakra, because there's just so much that you can go into. But I hope that gives you a little bit of guidance today along your journey. Thank you for joining, and as always, remember to lead through your life with your heart and to live with intention. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your friends and on social media. If you have the time to rate or review this podcast, I'd be ever so grateful. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Jolene Sensual Being. The links to my YouTube and to sign up to my mailing list will be in the show notes as well. I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.